자, 젠지와 KT의 2세트 경기 젠지가 승리를 했고요. 1세트와 마찬가지로 템포가 굉장히
Game number 2 for Gen.G versus KT, and Gen.G was able to pick up the win.
리라님 어떻게 보셨나요?
Yeah, how was the
저는
match?
이제 KT 입장으로서 제가 사실 렉사이를 주로
KT's
하는데
point of view, Rek'Sai is one of my main champion. It's a really good counter pick against Lee Sin, and also they had Rumble in mid. So they had a lot of priority in the side lanes. However, they made a bit of a mistake picking up Alista up against Taric because it's a losing matchup.
잘안 나와가지고 좀 아쉽습니다.
네, 초반에 뭐 저희가 어떤
early
식으로
game.
그게 굴러갔는지도 이후에 짚어드릴 거겠지만
Well, we're gonna
결국
talk about it later on.
하나에서는 본인들이 유리한 상성을 KT가
In jungle
가져갔으나
specific,
그 유리한
KT
상성을
had a
어떤
winning
돌리기
matchup.
시작하는
However, they
포인트를
failed
결국에는
to
초반에
kind of
무난하게
snowball on
넘어가거나 라이너 다른 상대 라이너들의 주도권에서 본인의 영향을 안 받아야 되는데
So,
사실 그런 대비가 전혀 안
whenever
되다
they get a
보니까
winning matchup, they have to be a little bit free from the enemy laners' pressure. However, they were failing on that.
이번에도 역시 오른이 선픽으로 등장을
Another
했어요.
B1 Ornn blind pick.
저는 개인적으로 요즘은 1대1, 4대4라는 생각이 많이
Currently,
드는데
it's 1v1
죽지만
and
않고
4v4. So
아래쪽
top
4명에게
laners are
아이템을 시켜줄
playing
수 있는
1v1,
선픽감인
and the
것
rest
같아요.
of the players are
라인전도
fighting
약간 강한
4v4. So Ornn is a really good champion that enables the other players to kind of get upgrade items and have a better forces down there.
사실 그 알리스타가 나오기 전까지만 하더라도
Before
기본적으로
KT locked in
미스터치
Alistar,
상태에서
they
칼리
had
타릭이 나온 건
misfortune,
어떻게 보면
so
젠지만의
Kusa and Taric competition
봐야 돼서
was a bit of a more like a Gen.G's
무난한
new
픽들로
tier list.
맞받아쳤다면 어떤 그림이 나왔을까 저도 좀 궁금하긴 합니다.
So maybe KT's different
시도였던 것 같아요.
choice of support could kind of make a different result in the game as a whole.
일단 초반 젠지의 움직임이 확실히
So we have this
빨랐어요.
highlight number 1.
바텀 주도권을 통해서 먼저 이렇게
With
타릭이
the
올라오면서
bot lane priority,
블루 쪽에
Taric was
와딩을 해서
able to
심지어
place a
미드도
ward
조이가 먼저 밀어놨었거든요.
to check blue buff.
그렇죠. 미드 조이가
And also
구원을
Zoe
갖고 오고 이제 렉사이가 레드를 먹고
lane
블루를
priority
가는
as
순간
well.
우리 팀에게 콜이 나옵니다.
So
나 못 가. 이게
she was pushing minions to the
우리는 이거 먹어야
turret.
되니까. 그러니까
The
리신
rest of
입장에서
the
자연스럽게
Gen.G
들어가면서
players were able
렉사이
to
밀어낼
go
수
counter
있고,
jungle.
여기서부터 렉사이
the blue buff.
입장에서는 사냥도 안
Rumble
되고
was not able to
공성
follow
자체도
them because
제약이
there
걸리는데다가
were so many
미드와
minions coming to
바텀의
the turret.
주도권 가지고 있는 젠지에게 아무런
With
터치를
the help from mid and bot lane priority,
그래서
they could
이게
not just
굉장히 중요한
deny Clint from counter
포인트였어요.
jungling their blue buff.
네.
맞습니다. 이렇게 젠지가 아주 기분
So we
좋게
have
시작을
another rainy
했고요.
rift here in the studio.
협곡의 주인은 나다.
네.
잘 보이세요? 이따 씌워드릴게요.
네.
자, 그리고 이미 경기는 뭐 계속해서 기울어서요.
Gen.G
마지막에
had
영환타에서도
control all over the
젠지가
game,
가볍게
and the
이겼지
last Drake team
어떻게 보면
fight
중간까지
kind
너무
of closed
스킵한 거 아닌가
out the
싶은데
game here.
그 정도로 뱀픽과 그 초반 플레이 이후 꼬인 게 영향이 컸던 것 같아요.
So,
상대적으로
well,
사거리가
actually,
짧은
the
KT
team fight
조합에서
was not
부시가
really that
많은
significant. It was
약간
more
지금
about their
지형이
draft
바뀌었잖아요.
mistake and
그렇기
also
때문에
some of the early
조이의
game
스킬
setup
다 뚫고 나와야
failures.
되는 상황에서 좋은 한타를 하긴 굉장히 힘든 지금
Well, KT was already still behind, so it was hard for them to kind of get a winning fight over there.
그래서 그런지 좀 당황해서 급하게 거는 듯한 KT 선수들의
KT
잔실수도
players
나왔었고
were
분명히
a
본인들이
little
어떤
bit in a
플랜을
hurry
가지고 뱀픽을
in that fight
완성시켰고
to
그걸 이어가려고
kind of
했었지만
engage
그게 무너지니까
when they're out of
젠지에게
reach.
전라인 압박을 당하면서 경기가 일방적으로 끝난 것 같습니다.
네, 맞습니다. 저는 이제 MVP 보기 전에 좀 여쭤보고
Before
싶은데요.
checking out the player of the game,
1세트와 비슷하게 2세트도 굉장히 빠른 시간 내에 압도적으로
Game
끝났는데
2 was big,
1세트에 비해서는
quick as well.
경기가 역동적으로 느껴지지
However,
않았거든요.
game
이유가
number
뭘까요?
1 wasn't really
제 개인적인
volatile.
생각으로는 약간
I think
역동적이지 않다라는 것은 지는 쪽에서
not
조금 더
being active
조심스럽게 약간
or volatile
역동각보다는
means that the
천천히
losing
시작.
side
다음
is a
아이템을
little bit
기다리자.
less
3일에 뭐
proactive.
3일째
They're waiting
이런
for
걸
more
기다리자라는
item builds,
생각이 게임을 조금 지루하게
waiting for their
만들 수
power
있다고 생각을 하는데
spike.
프로 게이머들은 실수
The
한
pro
번에
players, they are really cautious of one little mistake. They
실수하지 말자, 좀만 천천히 하자라는 콜이
kind
오갔던 것
of
같습니다.
really caught up with not
자,
making
이렇게 해서
mistakes. That's
2세트는
why
젠지가
game number 1
승리를
seemed a
차지했고요.
little bit
MVP
more
만나볼게요.
extended.
클린 선수
Clint
첫
is the
번째
player of the
MVP
game for
가져갔습니다.
game number
경기
2.
같은 경우엔 오히려 보노 선수에게
This is
갱패에서
his first
뒷덜미를
MVP
잡히면서
for this
고생하는 모습이
split.
많이 나왔었는데
And
이번에는
he was
흔히
having
말하는
a bit of a hard
역전승
time in game number 1,
렉사이를
however,
완전히 그냥 봉쇄하는 그림이 나왔어요.
was able to shut down Rek'Sai this
그런 것
game.
같아요. 클리드 선수가 약간 라이너를 끌고 다닐 때 굉장히 캐리력이
Clint
강하다고
has
생각을
high
하거든요.
carry
그래서
potential when he's
저는
moving with
라이너와
laner.
정글러 간에 약간 기브 앤 테이크가 좀 중요하다고 생각하는데
So Lira thinks
이번
it's
판은
really
약간
important
클리드의
to
테이크,
make sure they
클리드
get a
좋아지고
good
클리드가
give and
승리를
take
테이크하는
between laners and
그런
the
느낌인 것
jungler, and
같습니다.
Clid was able to pull that off this
물론 요새
time.
뭐 위상이 떨어졌다라고 하는데 라이너를 끌고 다닐 수도 있는 경기 흐름이 있다라는 거 좀 의미가 있는 것
Since
같아요.
junglers are having less pressure or impact in current attacks, it might be really useful
그리고 뭐
to
다시 확인할
utilize
수 있는 건
other
KT가
laners
상대적으로
together.
저평가받았던 건 맞지만 젠지 선수들의 그런
Well,
어떤
KT
기본적인
was a
네임
little bit
밸류와 라인전 파괴로
underestimated,
대단하구나.
but Gen.G definitely Gen.G also has a lot of powerful laners and members.
기대해 주시길 바라겠습니다.
제일 본인이 기대하고 있는 것 같아요.
So let's get ready for game number 3, the
네.
final game for today,
마지막
and
경기
I'm going to pass
만나보시죠.
it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, for the translation all day of the analyst tests, and we've put G-Sun to work today so far, going the entire distance with sixth game on the way. These were shorter games, but the last one certainly didn't feel that way.
You cursed us. This is
Well,
your fault.
I mean, that's what Kasajun's saying, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah, well, Clid's about to fall asleep by the looks of things. He's doing his best to keep himself awake.
I mean, I don't blame him. Do you know who I'm seeing later?
Who are you seeing later?
Do you know Phil?
Phil, the computer guy?
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah, I know Phil. I love
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah,
Have you
everyone
signed
loves
his mouse
Phil.
pad?
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah. I think he's got a collection of stuff.
Whatever,
that he-
I just haven't been invited, I guess. It's fine.
You'll get it this time. You'll get
It's
it.
fine. You know what?
It's
How about we
totally-
don't break my mental state before the game?
What?
All right,
It wasn't
thanks a lot.
If your mental state isn't broken after game 2 of this
Whatever.
series, it is impervious
Whatever.
to damage.
Phil doesn't like it. You know?
He does. He told me he'd clean my PC for free.
What?
Yeah. I just have to bring it to him,
Oh,
which I haven't
got
managed to
something-
do.
I got something to bring up to Phil later then, I guess.
I think so. I feel like I've really... sorry, Phil. Please, it wasn't me. This is not on record.
Alright, well, I'm gonna clip this. And, okay, so, KT, Akali and Kalistar banned away.
Akalista, taken away so far, as the Ornn and the Aphelios have gone.
It's
Akalistui?
no, it's Or-NN.
Ah.
Yes. So you missed out on that one.
Aphelion.
Yes.
J. Felion.
I like that. Oh, that's a very nice... Oh, look at the color down below. It's sort of like... Well, it's white, red, and blue. You know?
Yeah.
And on the other side, you got green, and something.
Green, blue, and orange hair, blue top.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with
Yeah, I
this
don't know.
one. I just wanted to
there
point
wasn't
out,
really much of a...
I was just
thing
trying to
there.
distract you from the fact that Set just got B1.
He did get B1.
So, if you're a KT fan, I'm sorry.
Well, it happened every single game in our first series, and one of those teams won each time. So, you know. And the Set won once, didn't he?
This is true.
Yep.
Gen.G responding R1, R2, Misfortune, Lee Sin.
Yeah, not exactly much to be worried about there, but the Elise has made it through this time, and Bono is considering picking that one up. Certainly would be a matchup in the jungle that we've seen over and over again, but makes both of these squads sinners. Did have access to things like the Gragas if you would like it, and his Olaf was in fact left available as well. But Bono did decide that the Elise is going to be the priority. Skuro thinking about going back to the Rumble, and is going to do so. BDD now with counter pick options. Could theoretically have a flex between the Rumble and the Set, but it's likely that what we see right now are the champions that the players are going to be playing.
Gen.G covering Mordekaiser.
And that is going to be the chosen Set counter. Noguri made it look exactly like that in Game 1 versus T1 earlier in today. In fact, a lot earlier today. But whether Rascal can do that to Soan is the question here. Next ban phase now upon us. Gen.G could choose to pinch the support position like they have done in the past. We'll see exactly where their minds are going to go. The Xayah is going to be taken off the board. So,
And I wonder if they're gonna play out the same sequence and actually go for the Lucian here.
could be.
And then Lucian would be able to be flexed. And Lucian's actually pretty good against Rumble and it is a skill matchup against Set. If Set ends up getting Bramble Vest and Ninja Tabai, and if he can grab Lucian once, it really spells disaster. So we'll see what the combo is going to end up being. Leona is going to now bite dust.
Looks like Gen.G wants to pick a solo laner then, because I would have imagined that Leona could have been an option that they would be looking at. Might want to be getting a priority pick. Could even be the Lucian for themselves. It's 3 seconds on the clock, KT with a decision to make. And it will be the Nautilus taken off the board. Now, where do they go? Do they take away something like the Thresh, Blitzcrank for the bottom lane, or do they lock in? Some sort of solo lane that they feel is safe enough to get here. Syndra available, something that we have seen blinded multiple times, and the Galio is going to be locked away. So, theoretically, a flex has largely been going into the support position from what I've been seeing, but could, of course, be mid lane as well. Was, of course, one of BDD's favorites.
Yeah. Well, it is a flex, mid, and support. This isn't 10-3, where Galio did just receive some small change. Now Varus, okay, it's actually going to be Ezreal.
Are we getting a caster support? I want Tusin's Nami. I want the Ezreal Nami lane right now. Do it. I want it so bad.
No, you already know. Come on, Tom or Braum. Come on. Come on, we're in the LCK.
It'll be Tom Kench.
We're in the LCK. Alice, come on.
Give me the Nami. Don't be scared, Tusin. Oh, Yumi's okay. I'll take Yumi.
Okay. Now, this isn't the massive Yumi buff patch.
No, that's
which
coming.
Is 10-3, yeah.
Yeah. So she's a little bit anemic, but still does what it says on the tin, and can certainly interrupt a, well, actually, picking Yumi into Mordekaiser is rough. It's very rough. That's Brad! All right. Kellen saying, well, I'm going to bring out an old favorite of mine myself, and picks up the Bard, is another notable pick into Yumi, because if she casts you and me, and then pops out of her current target, can be quite an easy target for the Cosmic Binding. But haven't seen a Brad for quite some time, and can certainly bully a lane alongside Misfortune. Excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm personally actually really excited to see this, mostly because I've talked about Bard a lot on stream in recent months. About how strong of a champion he actually is. And also, the preseason changes indirectly buffed him because he gets the XP from the Chines, solo XP was increased.
Yeah.
Which means when he leaves the AD carry alone, they actually get more benefit. Also, the changes to the jungle means that if he can apply pressure at all, it means that much more in slowing down the tempo and pacing of the enemy team. And then also, have you seen this champion's base damages? It doesn't make any sense.
Meep Slap does a hell of a lot of work.
Does not make any sense. Why can a support champion build tank, Deadmans, and rapid fire cannon with a support item, and then kill your carry?
In like 1.5 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, why can he teleport everyone around the map?
Why can a support comfortably take Electrocute and feel good about it, LS?
Well, I like that. I like mage supports. I am so happy that we are seeing one right now inside of the Brad.
Yeah, well, Kellen, we'll see whether he can put the Brad to work. As KT have also adjusted their roster just slightly. Sorry, not their roster, their composition just slightly. It's getting a little bit late, guys. But Gen.G, will they be able to put the cat on a book into the Death Realm and eliminate her is my big question. Tusin was one of our notable Yumi players when she was very strong last year, but that might have just been because Deft was so good. And augmenting Deft was always a good idea. Now Aiming, going to need to do his best Deft impression on the Ezreal. Because of course Deft probably our most notable Ezreal player remaining. In the LCK, we saw Bang leave, we saw Prey leave, and it was in the beginning Deft, Prey, and Bang that were just extraordinary. On the Ezreal pickup.
Let's see what is going to end up happening. As that is a interesting Bard skin. Personally, I'm actually a very big fan of the snow Bard.
Oh, it is adorable. Yeah, yeah.
It
and
really
the Meeps are like little penguins.
Yeah,
oh,
little penguins.
So cute.
Yeah.
I do like this one. Did you play Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild?
No.
Oh, dang it, dude. It reminds me of those, there were these little birds that were around the map, and they play like this cool music. And it was similar music to the Kakariko Village windmill music.
Okay.
Which was like one of the coolest tracks in Ocarina of Time. And he plays that and then tells you a riddle, and then you can solve it to get cool stuff. That's what it looks like to me. It was a long story for not that much information, but I hope someone got something out of it and agrees with me. That's all I want, validation. There's Tucson doing some bopping. And remember, Brad, yeah, he hits hard, but also gets hit real hard, as Kuro has to flash very early in this game. Blitz successful gank at 2 minutes. Not bad at all. So we've been seeing a lot of these Guardian Yumis popping up, but we're back to the Comet for Tucson. Wanting to play this one a little bit more aggressively, and I like that in a poke lane alongside Ezreal. We'll be eating through a lot of Kellen's mana as he's putting down these shrines. Oh, that's the other thing that's amazing about the Winter Wonderland skin is that you you get the little cocoa.
Yeah.
The hot cocoa.
That is actually really nice. It really is. Alright, so far, Sohan up there on the top lane seems to be doing really good, but we're going to get a little... Okay, we're getting a camera pan, so...
Looking at a dive, potentially.
And they are piling up a very large wave, but Rascal is pretty healthy.
And
so
Clit
at least,
is in the area.
Yeah, Clit's in the area. They know that. Set did not quite get the bounce that he was looking for, and so now this is going to be a little bit slow. He's going to E that minion just to get it. Doesn't want to miss out on the CS. Rascal might go... Well, Michael, he might end up actually trying to reset off of this wave. He might just go home. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. Or if he's just going to elect to actually stay and continue to play out this wave.
Ruler playing up against aiming here aggressively. Trades about even. Kellen does bear the worst of that one. Zoomies from Tucson will help as both of the bottom lanes with a fair bit of sustain available to them in very different ways. The Shrine's going to be helping. Bit of a recall coming through from Ruler as the bottom lanes are basically even.
Well. Oh, so missed out on that E.
Yeah, couldn't
Didn't
break
quite have
the face.
spacing. Yep. But I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. He is so far ahead in the CS department. And again, this is one of those dynamics where Brad, Galio, Mordekaiser, all heavy amounts of magic damage. And also, there is so much CC on this team that Hex Shrinker into Mercury Treads would be really good itemization, and then from there go into Trinity Force and then round it out with Dead Man's Plate. That's going to be a nice trade.
That's a huge combo from Sohan, but Rascal utilizes the W quite nicely. Sorry, back to your point.
That's pretty much it. You know.
All right.
You know what? So ever since I thought of this when Set was released, okay? Because we're having a little bit of a lull state. Everyone's gonna recall. We're gonna go back. We're gonna buy our items. So I get a little bit of a downtime. I just want to bring you in on this. So
it's weird because downtime's not something that we've had very much this series.
We're wasting time. Come on. All right, listen. Yo. So we're on limited time. We're on borrowed time. There's always something to talk about. But
yeah, there's always action.
With the release of Aphelios and having the 2 buttons.
Yeah.
I thought when Set was released, like his left punch, right punch, wouldn't it be really cool if there was like an Eddie Gordo character? Where like a Q was like a left punch, W is right punch.
Yeah.
E is like a kick.
And so we're just playing a boxing game?
Yes.
And you actually play the game with a Wiimote?
No.
No, you don't want to do that?
No.
Okay, maybe I took
just your
it too far.
QWER is 4 abilities, sort of like Udyr. And you skill them and they just do different stuff. And then he's constantly in motion. You know what I mean?
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, like, you ever play Tekken?
Well, like, maybe QWER could represent his limbs.
That's what I just said.
Oh, right, so it's just actually arm, leg.
Arm, leg.
Okay, sorry. That actually sounds to me...
Or you could do arm, leg, and then a grapple.
Do you remember that game? Like, I think it was a browser game. Oh, no, Mr. Octopus.
What's that?
It's where you play this game as an octopus, and you have to control each of his tentacles, and you have to just walk around and achieve menial tasks.
Okay. I like
Octodad. Octodad's the game.
All right. When did that come out? 1980?
Yeah, something like that. No. This is out on Steam. It was out like, I don't know, 2 years ago.
Do you know that a lot of games that used to be free to play in web browsers are now only available on Steam for money?
Really?
Yeah, I felt really sad.
That is really sad.
Oh.
Well, Rascal taking the worst of that one, but he can turn it around to even out the trade. It's weird. I feel like Mordekaiser's trade patterns are similar to like a ranged champion. Because the melee goes in, does their buttons and their combo, and then Mordekaiser's time to shine is after that. In a weird way.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely strange. Okay, so on just used as W. So there would be a trade window opportunity that Rascal could have gone for. A little bit surprising. I mean, Rascal is down 30 CS.
Yeah,
and
this is a disaster.
we see that Soan's being really greedy. He went for the Phage, which is definitely a bit surprising.
Yeah,
and
you want him to build magic resist.
I wanted him. Yeah, I wanted him to get magic resist and also just get the Merc Treads really fast so that you'd have some ability. The Phage, yes, it gives you the MS. Yes, it lets you stick, but the recipe components for it are basically all the stats that you're getting. You're getting 5 more AD, you're getting 50 more HP, and then you're getting the Rage passive. But if you just had Tier 1 boots, you're basically almost always perma-raged.
Yeah.
And you can allocate gold into other items, which is another cool feature about Trinity Force set that Black Cleaver set doesn't have. But I'm getting a little worried, Atlas. I'm beginning to think that Soan here, with 4 AP champions, or well, 3.5,
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to build a Black Cleaver. And honestly, I'm getting a little nervous.
I don't think it's going to happen. Well, Death Realm's come out here as we've got the Showstopper to fly on forward in response. They're going to come out of the Death Realm, and there's going to be 2 junglers present as Clid is going to immediately get cocooned. But the kickback lands, and the flash forward from Rascal is going to grab in the first blood, and second immediately to follow as BDD had joined the party. That was a teleport. No heroic entrance required as Kuro, he rotates just a little too late to this one.
And, yeah, it truly is cursed as
oh, God.
the set.
Just saw the Kindle Gem.
Yeah. Well.
Wow.
You know, I can't feel bad for players that don't do a lot of research. Okay? Yeah. It becomes really easy. Now, Korea is very up in the air with Trinity Force and Black Cleaver. Like, as we saw earlier,
I mean, it was only Noguri that decided
Noguri did the Trinity Force, but there's so many players on the ladder that are doing Trinity Force and Black Cleaver. And if you look really close at both of them, it becomes pretty apparent that Trinity Force would just be better.
I mean, I can just have a look right now. As we have a look at this replay. With Rascal getting that big old flash in.
Set tries to go for the W, and then a really nice Q flash there by Rascal, as Elise was then also locked up.
Well, okay.
Oh, here's the Pro View, by the way. It looks like hell.
Oh, yeah, it is cool in that skin. Okay. I like it a lot.
Why?
Nice.
Okay. Very nice.
So, having a look here, we've got some really interesting statistics based on build win rates.
Okay.
Trinity Force with the Tiamat, almost the exact build that Noguri went for, is currently sitting at a 62.2% win rate.
Okay.
If those 4 items have been completed. Second build that we did see was the Black Cleaver into, I believe, mostly tank items.
Yeah.
And that's at a 60.88% win rate.
Okay.
But the highest win rate build... All right, wait a second. All right, so the first build that I was talking about, 62%, was building Tiamat first and then finishing the Trinity Force.
Okay.
But the highest win rate build is Trinity Force into Titanic into Sterix Gauge.
Okay.
That's highest win rate. Followed by Black Cleaver into Titanic into Sterix.
Okay. All right.
That's apparently 64% win rate, though. So
there you go.
That's a Black Cleaver. Seems like people haven't got the memo, but they're still playing well, so they're winning. I don't know. I felt like I wasted a lot of time just going over.
Well, I mean, there's really not too much going on, though, inside of the game, so I feel like itemization like this is actually interesting. It's not every day that you get to actually talk about stuff like this.
Well, Kuro might be in trouble as Split, I believe, a minion blocked his Q. So Kuro's going to be absolutely fine. Bottom side of the map, Bono did pay a visit, but Ruler and Kellen had vacated. Naming just going to try and find himself a recall. He's behind by a little bit. A couple of Doran's Blades picked up by Ruler just to try and make sure that they can win the lane as hard as possible. And we'll see when Kellen goes for a little bit of a journey to find more of these chimes around the map. You can see there's a couple in his own jungle. There's a dance forward. Big Death's Grasp as the Death Realm once again comes forward. Showstopper comes down, so on, surviving for the moment, and there the W comes in, the Haymaker to get the work done, but Rascal not dead yet. Oh, the flash to get out of the way of the onslaught, and 4 KT members are here, and that is going to mean the tidy up of Rascal.
And now Bono, I mean, he has the Rift Herald. It doesn't seem like... Oh, no, okay. He did end up summoning it. He summoned it a little bit late. It still will summon. How does she charge from that distance?
She just does it point blank and hits nothing because the Tempered Fate is there. Love the denial, and she's not even going to get the charge. It's just not happening. That was immune. Today I learned that Rift Herald is immune to Tempered Fate, which I didn't actually know. Caster, by the way. Shelly will be taken down. Still a lot of plates were given her.
Lots of plates were picked up. Rumble almost has the Leandri's Torment. Ezreal almost has the Monomune.
Yep, still looking for that 2-item spike though. We're not quite there just yet. Wanting to complete the Monomune, and I believe it's Trinity Force, judging by the long sword sitting there. But I could be mistaken. Given lethal tempo has been picked up, what is your favorite rune on Ezreal these days now that there's no Klepto?
Oh man. I guess
I feel really lost playing Ezreal.
Yeah,
these days.
it is really lost. I feel like honestly it's Conqueror or it's Omnistone.
Yeah.
And you try to RNG those Dark Harvest stacks to amplify all the runes.
Oh yeah.
So that's you know.
Is there a way that you can manipulate that? I know the AI on Omnistone got a little bit better.
Omnistone is so close to being so good.
Yeah.
It is honestly one of the best ideas that Riot, I feel, has put out in recent months.
I think it's really cool.
It's so close.
It's certainly unique, but yeah, I'm not sure whether it's necessarily good just yet. Maybe things just need to upgrade just a little. But for champions like Ezreal, where it just doesn't feel like there's
not a real rune
that feels good for him.
And that's usually when runes like Spellbook and Omnistone or Kleptomancy, that's when they would typically end up coming in.
Yeah. It feels, yeah, I guess Ezreal's weird because he feels like he can use every keystone, which is why Omnistone is one that feels decent. It's just, as a rune, just in general, it's not enough to just take one of the runes that you'd prefer. Too many of them don't feel so great.
The thing that's really worrisome here, though, is that set with the Black Cleaver, and again, I talked about this in the T1 versus Dom 1 series, I'll say it again.
Well, another death realm. Haymaker does come in. We're trying to do battle, but the passive is doing so much work here onto So-On. Does have a null magic mantle, but otherwise it's just not enough. That W really helping out here as Showstopper does come in. Will he have a Haymaker back in time? He gets it in the end, and the Death's Grasp not enough. BDD looking to tidy this one up. Protobelt and gets a very short snare, but the Haymaker is in. Doesn't do damage, but keeps him alive for a little bit longer as he gets the Q movement speed. Another round. Oh my god, the Grit did so much work, but it wasn't enough in the end. Still able to win the 1v1. I'd still call worth in all chat.
Yeah. Ended up actually bringing down Mord right there, which was really nice, and also wasted a lot of BDD's time as well. And so right now the gold score at the top is pretty even, but the real pressure is the dragons that are building up. Now, it's only Cloud Dragon. Now, I'm not actually totally sure how this is going to work on BDD if he has the Cloud Soul. Does he R and land and it just fades?
I think he R's and lands, and then by the time he's landed, most likely there isn't any movement speed left.
And then MF stands still.
Yeah, no, MF is probably one of the worst possible. Yuumi also garbage, unless you're by yourself.
Yeah, this is definitely
Ezreal not too bad.
Ezreal's
I don't know
not
what
too bad.
happens to Elise.
Set is good.
Elise can just spam it, I guess, and book it around the map. I don't know.
And
Don't know how that works.
Rumble. All right, so let's take a look at this. Set actually starts this off by eating an entire combo. There's a really good grit stack right there. Punching as much as he possibly can. The minions even get involved in this. Rascal doesn't quite fully sidestep it. Gets superplexed. And then right there, just not quite able to finish off Soan. Unfortunately, with the way that he played it, Galio showed up, though, to quickly avenge him.
Really good sidestepping and making sure that he's on top of Mordekaiser's body so the Qs are really hard to land. No obliteration to be really gained. I think there are only, you know, 1 or 2 Qs that landed in that entire 1v1. So really cleanly done as another Tempered Fate to deny Shirley. And now, speaking of denying things, KT looking to try and deny one more step towards the Cloud Soul. Instead, looking to try and start a fight. No more Taunt available. It's going to be on cooldown for the next little while. But KT just playing around this and will move down to try and get themselves their first Drake of the game. If they get 4 Cloud Drakes, that's a hell of a lot of movement speed.
That is a lot of movement speed, but...
And, sorry, ultimate cooldown.
And,
especially.
Yeah, the ultimate cooldown, 40% on it. I mean, for Ezreal, that's really big. For Yuumi, it's going to be really big as well.
For Elise, means nothing.
Well...
Soan can throw people around a lot, though.
He can superflex a lot, yeah.
It's basically a juggler. And Kuro can just line up equalizers.
Oh, man. Do they know?
Oh. Clid,
oh?
He's certainly got a bit surprised there. Good kickback for some attempted disengage as True Shot Barrage is going to be flashed. Don't know whether Clid needed to, but he's going to play it safe. As our safeguard going to be necessary, but doesn't have any wards available. Oh no, he has a minion wave! And Kuro has to use the ult in order to lock him down. Thought for 1 second that Clid was going to survive, but the rest of Gen.G aren't wasting their time. Aiming, doing what he can, but Tucson chose to try and stun up the Galio instead of the 3 people thwacking on the turret. That means that that outer is going to go down.
And
Clid's
Bono
life
and
was not in
Kuro are on the dragon. So Elise going to be able to pick it up, repel over. Huh?
Flash out of the Tempered Fate as Soan is going to get taunted. Death's Grasp going to bring him back. That obliterate did land as the Death Realm utilized here from Rascal, but he knows what happens in this particular timeline. This story has been solved, but he comes out of the Death Realm into a bullet time, and therefore the timeline was sorted out by Ruler. So Gen.G successful here, but they do lose the Drake, which means they're unable to accelerate towards the Dragon Soul as quickly as they otherwise would, as this is the surprise attack onto Clid.
Well, superplex right down into the ground. A little bit surprising. I thought that they had chained the cocoon correctly. Ended up not being the case. Had to use the equalizer here to finish him off. Lee was not happy about that. The anti-synergy right here. Soan flashes away, gets pulled by the grasp, and then Bono is like, no, do not lead them over here. Still keeps trying to do those golems. He's just trying to farm, man.
Yeah. I do like the idea of ulting the set so that he can't kill your backline, but would have been possibly easier to get a second kill if Rascal had have held on to it, but hindsight, those things. Gen.G with control of the map at this stage, trying to get deep vision down, trying to play around where this Baron is, but it's 20 minutes into the game. Baron is very new and is pretty scary. He's aiming, dives on top of a control ward, and BDD will have ample time to get out of the way with help of the Justice Punch. 2 Atom Spike completed here for aiming, though. He's got his Trinity Force and his Mana Mune. Not quite a Mirror Mana just yet. Boots of Lucidity also picked up as see what else he's going to be building. Does sort of show that he's not going to be building too much more cooldown reduction for the rest of his build as Kellen Tempered Fate comes in, but it's not going to be enough to cancel out the last chapter. There's the flash forward. Kellen's going to get tagged, but not going to get slowed, of course. No Iceborne Gauntlet. Still in trouble. Honeyfruit not going to slow anyone down. And KT can't find their picks.
And you can hear lots of pings actually going off from the summoners that just ended up getting used. And now KT, they're looking to raise this mid-tier 1 turret.
Remember, based on the timeline, Game 2 is over in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So this game has been well and truly extended already. And it's not likely that it's going to be finishing in 8 either, which is the timeline for game number 1. So really feeling like both of these teams are feeling the pressure, as it is, of course, match point in their first set of the season.
I see what you did there.
It was...
That was very funny.
Thanks.
You made an extremely
That was
funny
an
joke.
extraordinarily intentional pun, and I want you to know that.
Okay.
Because it's not like we've referred to games as sets before in the past.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely not. We don't do that.
I chose to do that
Yeah,
because
fine.
of the hilarious.
Sure, yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, cool. Just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Yeah, awesome. Love
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah, no problem.
That's for everyone at home as
Yeah, I always got your back on this.
well.
No big
Just
deal.
like myself sometimes. Okay, KT. Can they make a move? Because right now Gen.G has so much control of the top side of the map. KT with some vision available in the river on bottom side, but that's looking for a Cloud Drake that's going to be available in just over a minute. A possibility. Looks like Gen.G aren't really concerned too much with Dragon Soul. They're wanting to try and opt into some sort of Baron play. And of course, this is a team that does have the Mordekaiser, so Barons are much more easy to secure.
Yes.
And the fact that you can just put Bono in the Death Realm. Rascal going for a pretty aggressive build here with what looks like Nash's Tooth coming in as second item instead of third. Often Rylai's is picked up first alongside Leandri's to make sure that you're a bit more battle ready with a bit more health.
Yeah, you have more health. You also have the slow, which then amplifies the burn.
Yep.
From 4.5 to 7.5%. So on, just trying to shove out this wave as fast as possible. Also going Deadman's as his third item.
Yeah, this is exactly the build that oh my goodness, I'm blanking. It was picked up in our earlier series by Roach. And he had the Aftershock, which I actually thought paired a little bit better with this style of build.
Yes.
If you're going to go tanky, you may as well be an Initiator and a Frontline. And so go for something that's a little bit more tanky, involving a Gargoyle's Stoneplate, something like that. Someone's going a little bit more on the battle side with his Conqueror. Gen.G just grouping up, staying as a team, but this gold lead has not changed for a very long time. And
They could just do Baron. What?
We're trading Cloud Drake, second Cloud, for a Baron. Let's get to that area. Remember, Yuumi has changed, cannot join with a friend on a teleport anymore. So it's not like they can get 3 people there instantly, but...
I think if they magical portal on, you see to the left of the Bard portal.
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
If you tunnel through
mid-lane
that,
thingy,
yes,
yeah,
when
yeah.
they were all standing on mid. Tunnel through that for speed, go on to the Baron immediately, and then Bard ultimate the incoming enemy team, and then Bard portal out of the Baron pit. All stand at the back of the Baron pit. Mordekaiser use R. If somehow Elise gets over there, get
Their
the Baron,
ability
get
to
out.
deny anyone trying to take a Baron from them
they have
is
so
pretty
many
damn
tools,
high.
right?
Yeah.
So Mordekaiser with the Leandri's and just everything. I'm pretty sure they can sneak it and get out. That would have been a, what, 24-minute Baron? The items that they have the Leandri's Torment at that point in time.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Definitely
The
a
only
little
way
strange.
that KT would have stolen that is with a True Shot Barrage. If Gen.G played it.
And the other thing is,
textbook.
worst case scenario, let's say that Soan and Kuro both use teleport to get over there. Now, I'll be honest, actually, I did not check, or, well,
Aiming's teleport
I
wasn't
can't
available
see
at the
Kuro's
time.
teleport because of my eyesight.
Using
right now.
that old excuse again. Okay.
But even if they teleport,
oh, okay. Suplex going to come in like you like to call it, but Rascal's going to flash the wall. Bono comes in, realizes that he's not going to be able to 1v1, was a little bit ahead of his team.
What?
As BDD teleports to the bottom lane because he loves minions. Red Dot Syndrome. But he is in range of a heroic entrance if he would like to pay a visit to his team. Level 14, not quite with the maximum range, but it's still pretty long at rank 2. And now Gen.G are looking for a fight. Tempered Fate sidestepped.
Oh,
Galio! Trying to fight it. That's a big 2-man taunt into the back line. And KT have already lost their jungler. Flash is being utilized everywhere as Ruler is on a rampage. Tucson is a cat on a book without a friend, and that is one that ain't winning any team fights anytime soon. And Gen.G are going to say, you guys can have your 2 members. we are going to dive onto the Baron and win this game.
And so I think that that's probably going to be all that she wrote. It's going to be the Baron buff picked up by Gen.G. And also the mid turret taking quite a hefty amount of damage.
Is there a world where Gen.G, instead of actually going for the Baron, could have just won the game? No, I think that time is a little bit too low. It is still 26 minutes into the game. I might be eating my words. I mean, there's still 2 minutes and Gen.G can win in the same time frame that KT were able to take game 1. However, still not over just yet, and this is by no means the same game that game 2 was. It's getting there. Not quite that all she wrote just yet. But with the Baron buff and Gen.G in still relative control, looking very comfortable. Let's have a look at this fight once again. BDD just finding the right flank. Flash I mean, pretty good.
He just walked up slowly to them and W.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did right there.
And he flashed.
Well, I mean,
he flashed W because he
can't
W flash anymore. Which is a bit sad. Makes it a bit projected.
Galio is grounded while casting.
Yes.
And Ruler obviously going completely bloodthirsty. I'm not talking about the bloodthirster.
Oh, look at us with our accidental puns today.
Yeah.
Doing really well. Love
unintentional, but, you know.
Once again, highest win rate build. Love it, love it.
Yep.
The slave to the OPGG is Rascal going to get caught out of position. Death Realm going to be there. Whoever's in there, no, it's going to be aiming. He QSS's it immediately. And that is a dead Mordekaiser. But the rest of the team is pushing in. I swear BDD is like almost not a member of Gen.G anymore. He's been on his own so long. But then decides to win a team fight, and then you guys will be okay, right? And then continues pushing a side lane.
The one inhibitor going to be picked up. And also quite a bit of chip damage on that top tier 3. 40 seconds until the next Cloud Dragon. Now this isn't one that necessarily does anything. We're still ways away from the Cloud Soul. Now Rascal has teleport.
Wow. Going for an aggressive move. Goes Golden to try and hold the blushes, but isn't quite able to. Tempered Fate lands onto Bono. The bullet time does absolutely nothing, and that was a lot of buttons pressed, but not a lot of outcome. And now Soan trying to do his best BDD impression on BDD.
Where is Mordekaiser? He has TP.
He's still booking it. Soan's got the Dead Man's Plate. He's running pretty quick. Still has Q available to him as well if he wants to run even faster.
Interesting.
Can he actually bind it onto anyone is the question. Cosmic Binding Connect.
Mord is not staying on the fountain. He's actually just running to the minion wave down in bottom. So he won't have the home guard bonus in the event that his team would need him, but instead they're actually just going to raise the top inhibitor turret as well. They're going to get out of there via the magical portal.
Yeah, take a journey. 27 seconds on this Baron, but already a very successful one, close to a 2,000 gold Baron power play. That is going to spell a 5.5k gold lead here for Gen.G. 7 turrets to 2. KT well and truly on the back foot, but they might be able to get to their 3rd Cloud Drake.
I think it's very cute. They ping to use the Bard portal.
Oh, yeah?
I watched them use it, yeah.
Oh, that's
It was really good on the minimap. That is very nice, yeah.
Well, Gen.G are going to deny any hopes for a Dragon Soul in the next Drake for KT by denying that one here. They can grab it themselves, of course. Now Rascal back from the Death Chamber and is now on the bottom side trying to take the last remaining inhibitor. Still yet to get through this inner turret. It's Soan getting closed in on, but Kuro is going to be there to try and help him.
I don't know what Soan is. Well, the turret lived.
Yeah, he's stepping on forward. Bullet time cancelled as there's the suplex that you were talking about. Rascal trying to continue this fight. Soan does do a lot of work and goes golden as well to keep himself alive and not going to find the taunt, but BDD does still find the kill. Kellen has to get out of there, down to 200 health. There's now BDD in trouble. Klid's trying to win the game by himself. 2-man taunt comes in. Ruler's still there with a fair bit of damage.
Aiming?
What the heck? Aiming doing his general aiming thing, and that's going to be a couple of kills, and Gen.G have just found themselves the game.
Well, Klid can actually kill Bono. Oh, he can WR. Huh?
I mean, he can kill the next turrets as well. That's the
WR.
And just does it by himself. Waits for the rest of his team to get tantalizingly close before solo killing the Spider Lady. But Bono didn't have many options there. And the Nexus is going to be taken down. Gen.G do manage to rewrite the script after game 1. 2 games in a row. But KT with a dominant game 1 certainly made things look a little bit worrisome.
Yeah.
But Gen.G able to do it, much like T1 did in their first game today.
And so, game number 2 was obviously, it was something. It was what?
I'm looking at this MVP selection, wondering what the heck to do, by the way.
Well, you know what? One thing decided it for me. It was when Galio slowly walked up behind them and W'd.
Well. Yeah, I guess.
Because that actually, that's what blew open the game.
It did. I mean, that was the one team fight that made it impossible.
If he doesn't get MVP because Ruler flashed forward and autoed after he did that.
I mean, yeah, this is the thing, that bottom lane team fight,
this election would be rigged, if that would be the case.
And also Rascal losing that 1v1 against Solon. I couldn't give it to him for it.
Yeah, you can't.
You know?
You
Not
can't
after
do that.
that.
And then we can't honestly give it to Bard. The most impressive thing about Bard this game was the denials. And so now, Rift Heralds, they probably are going to have some PTSD.
Yeah.
In our next,
Yeah, Shelly and Shirley both were unable to do anything.
They are not going back to the Void happy, I'll tell you that much.
You know what happens when you just don't feel like you have much of a function, you know? You're like,
oh, I know.
Yeah, lack of purpose.
Yeah.
Shelly and Shirley now
That
talking
is
to their
a
therapist
lot of-
about it.
Who is their therapist, do you think? Oh, it's probably the Academy Kaisa skin, which probably is coming at some point. Kaisa's from the Void, you know?
It might be Headmistress Fiora as well.
Ooh.
I'm sure she could have a conversation with them.
You mean Headmistress Firework?
I like how you ruined that. However, you still did it correctly via ruining it, which I think sort of sums up our entire first day here at Spring 2020 LCK. Oh my goodness, it certainly went the distance. I'm not entirely sure what time it is. It's very close to midnight. Okay, that's probably why we're going a little bit batty. And you know what? We get to do it all again tomorrow.
My night's not even done.
Are you going home to, like, co-stream something?
I gotta stream. Just for a little bit. My night's not over.
Well, I mean...
Well, I'm not actually going home. I'm staying at a hotel right next to Little Park.
Yeah, which is very, very good. Because if you had to take an hour-and-a-half train ride, then go home, then
no, the
stream...
trains are closed.
All right, so an hour-and-a-half taxi.
I'd pay a $50 taxi.
Yeah. They go home and stream
to go home
in like an hour and a half.
Yeah. And then I would have
go
to
sleep for like 45 minutes. Wake up to take the train back to work.
Exactly. See?
Oh, baby.
That's what I'm excited
sounds
about.
healthy.
Yeah, I know it does.
Oh,
I know it does.
I'm not going to make fun of you for any bags under your eyes ever again.
Thank you.
I promise.
I do appreciate that.
Not very nice.
Galio getting that taunt right there, doing the Q. Watch aiming here in the follow-up. So you can understand that maybe he's just thinking that it's do or die. I feel like he panics with the Arcane Shift. QSS even a little bit slow.
Oh.
Honestly,
what?
he can...
So he was trying to kill Kellen and then kill Ruler immediately afterwards, and then
he can
slightly
kill
messed
them,
it up.
but the execution there is off. But still, Lee Sin is still going to accomplish everything that he's doing.
True.
So
sometimes you see red.
Yeah. So the Sith won today. Yeah. Red did win.
They did. Although I liked how KT did it in game 1. This didn't feel as good, but I do like seeing BDD back on a more facilitatory mid laner. He was playing a lot of side lane Galio, but he was there when he needed to be and accomplished what he needed to, especially with that teleport play into the mid lane. 8,000 damage. I'm still going to award him the MVP for this game because he got what his champion was supposed to do done perfect.
Yes.
Basically. And everything sort of just worked like clockwork.
Yeah.
Ruler also played very well. I mean, dominated his lane entirely, so is another option there. However, not exactly something that Ruler doesn't do every game, so sometimes maybe we're a little bit jaded.
I am extremely excited to hear what they have to say, especially about game number 2. Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything to say about game number 2?
I think there's a lot to say.
Did game number 2 happen?
Is Echo in the Death Run?
That's what I thought. I mean, there was a Mordekaiser in the last game. There wasn't an Echo. And maybe that makes a time continuum issue. Something like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's that?
Here we go.
All right,
Player of the
BDD's
game.
going to pick it up.
It is going to be
Nicely done.
BDD. I'll save my question. for a
Hey,
little
we've
bit.
already discussed BDD and why he deserves the MVP.
Okay,
you can
sure.
have your question.
Okay,
it's fine.
here
We're
we
going
go.
to be getting into
What
an
if
MVP
Silas
interview relatively
steals
quickly.
Mordekaiser's ultimate, and then Mordekaiser ults someone, and that's Silas' friend, and then Silas ults someone to try to go to the Death Realm, but then Silas' Death Realm is not Mordekaiser's Death Realm, and they're different Death Realms, and Silas feels like he lied. And what if one of those champions is Jillian, and the other one is Echo? They both use their ultimate, and nothing happens. What's going on there? Yeah, I'll see you in the Reddit comments. Don't give me that face. You know I'm right.
If Mordekaiser QSSs to get out of a Death Realm that he's put in via Silas,
Yes.
and then puts the Silas back into a Death Realm, where do they go? Is it the same one?
What if Mordekaiser R's a Tom Kench, and then the Tom Kench eats the Mordekaiser inside of the Death Realm? And then Tom Kench QS.
Does that mean that Tom Kench's belly is in fact the Death Realm? Whoa.
These are the important questions
I
here.
am losing my mind.
Now,
congratulations to BDD and congratulations to Gen.G. An absolutely great comeback. Not necessarily the cleanest in game number one. They certainly needed to tidy that up, but game two was basically a done deal from the beginning, and game three also felt like it was all she wrote pretty early on as well. So Gen.G, business as usual, try and do our best to ignore game one. But, you know, 26-minute win, and then what was this? About a 30-minute win.
yeah.
Not too bad here from Gen.G, and showing a lot of different gears as well with the compositions that they've ran here today. I like the Taric and the Kalista, something that Kellen and Ruler have been practicing quite a lot, and also shows that, you know, that's going to involve a lot more banning to be done by our opponents. But we are going to go to an interview, and I believe it's going to be Clit and BDD.
네,
So
젠지가
they're standing by
개막전
with Mina Kim, and here's Ji-sun for some translation.
오늘 승리의 주역이죠.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun with the Universe Translation, and we'll be hearing from Clit, BDD, the main characters of today's Gen.G series.
자, 클리 선수, BDD 선수.
Clit and BDD, congratulations.
많은 분들이 젠지.
Well, Gen.G was the team with the highest hopes for this split, so maybe you guys were feeling a bit of a pressure, right? This is my first match at this year's LCK and also in the new team, so I'm not really satisfied with my performance today. I have to work harder. Game 2 and 3 was going on the Gen.G side, but game number 1, yeah, it was a bit of a shame, right?
저희가 약간 되게
So
라인전도
we
세고 되게 약간
got the
다들
picks
보는
with
각이
strong
많아서
laning
게임
phase,
분위기가 되게 편한데 약간
and
저희가
we also have a very good
우리만 안
insight
하면은
in
이긴다는
game.
느낌으로 얘기를 계속 했던 것 같아요.
So we were communicating that we shouldn't just go in too much. And fans are really excited to see the miracle from the miracle BDD, Rascal, and Clit. How's the teamwork going?
점차 점점 좋아질 가능성도
It's
있기 때문에
good already, but
선수들
I'm seeing a lot of potential,
피드백에서
a lot of
좀
room to
잘하고
improve.
있어서
I think we can
발전
still get
가능성이
better.
엄청 큰 것 같아요.
So we have a very high potential currently.
두 번째 경기가 사실상 굉장히 압도적으로 흘러갔음에도 불구하고
Game 2 was a little bit one-sided. However, Gen.G seemed to be slowing down in terms of
일단
macro.
저희가 약간 되게 흥분 약간 안 하고
We
그냥 할수 있는
try
거
not to get too excited in game.
네, 팀적으로 좀 우리 이 경기 확실히 가져가자 하는
So
그런
you guys
얘기가
wanted to
있었나
secure the
보네요.
win, right?
개막전 경기가 확실히 욕심나는
You
경기이기도
guys
하죠.
really wanted
자,
to
그리고
get
클리드
the
선수
win
오늘
on your
3
first
리신
match.
꺼내셨는데
And Clit, you were
앞에도
playing
리신이
Lee Sin
나왔었어요.
the entire day, so we were watching 6 Lee Sin game in total.
자체가 챔피언이 좀 약간
Lee
유동성에서도
Sin
엄청
has a
좋고
very high
그리고
mobility,
밸런스 잡거나
and
이렇게
it's a really good champ to maintain balance in the entire composition. So there are a lot of players that prefer Lee Sin, so that's why we're seeing Lee Sin so often. But why is no one banning it out? Because Lee Sin has a bit of a requires a bit of a mechanical level to kind of use it in competitive games.
리신이다 보니까 첫
Well,
번째
Lee Sin is one
경기에서
of your
자존심이 좀
main
상했을
champions,
것 같아요.
so
두 번째 경기부터는 조금 전략을
I
바꿔가는
guess you were a little bit sad losing that game number 1, right? Well, game 1, I think I was not really concentrating in game, so I was disappointed to myself. So starting in game number 2, I wanted to go
그렇게
all
클린
in.
선수와 BDD 선수의 호흡도
in
정말
game.
좋았는데요. BDD 선수는 이제 세 번째 경기에서
BDD.
갈리오를 픽하셨어요. 팀적으로 많이
Game
준비하셨던
on
픽이거든요.
Galio.
일단은
Mid lane was that prepared in
되게 약간
advance.
조합 맞춰서 쓰면은 나쁘지 않은.
Galio is a really good champion to kind of balance out the damage composition.
좋을까요? 갈리오가 요즘 못해서.
What's the best composition for Galio?
그냥 약간 뭐 제가 궁을 덮으면은 약간 시너지가 날 수 있는 챔프들.
In a situation where I can get a lot of synergy when I land down with my
갈리오로
ultimate.
뒤에서 엄청난 이니시를 걸었던
So we
장면인데요.
have to watch this highlight with your awesome flank coming in clutch.
자, 이제 포지션을 어떻게 잡고
How
있었는지
did
미리
you
계획하셨던
get the
건가요?
position?
아마도
Did you plan this in advance?
모데카이저가 용 뒤로 이렇게 돌아가다가 물린
Well,
상태인데
I remember Rascal was a little bit caught near the dragon pit, so I TP'd in to help him. And then I saw the opponents kind of seizing into the mid lane, so I was able to get the flank position.
깔끔하게 풀어간 면이 있었어요. 젠지가 앞으로도 더 좋은
So
합을
Gen.G.
보여줄 거라는 예상이 되는
A lot of
그런
fans are looking forward to seeing
그리고
more
BDD
and
선수
more
살이 굉장히 많이 빠진 것
but,
같은데
teamwork. And
젠지
BDD, I guess you
PT가
lost a
엄청
lot
많다는
of weight.
얘기가
And
있거든요.
we heard
얘기 좀
a lot of
들려주세요.
stories about
어떤지.
Gen.G's PT.
일단은 저도 이렇게 운동을 오래 할 줄 몰랐는데
I
약간
also did not
저희
expect to
가르쳐주는
work out
선생님이
this
너무
much,
재밌게
but our
해주셔가지고
trainer,
약간 되게
he's a really
계속 하고
fun
있는 것
guy.
같아요.
He's really good at teaching us, so
일각에서는
we are
이런
enjoying
얘기가
this
있습니다.
workout
클리드
session.
선수와 비교를
So people are
쉽게 팬분들이 하셨으면 했어.
starting to
열심히
compare
운동하고
you and
있다.
Cliff,
이런 얘기는 다
you
루머인
know,
거죠?
to make a
네,
big
rumor이죠.
distinct because you guys
알겠습니다.
look so alike. Is that a rumor?
하도록 하겠습니다.
That is a rumor.
자, 이제 다음 경기 기다리고 있죠. 클리드 선수 어떻게 준비하실지
How are you gonna
물어볼게요.
prepare your upcoming series?
저희 팀 자체 개인적인 경기력도 별로 안 좋았기 때문에
Our
다음에
first
좀더
match,
보완해서
our
좀더
performance was not
팬분들이 보기에도
clean,
좀더
so we have to
안심할 수 있는
improve
경기력을
that.
쌓아오도록 하겠습니다.
We want to come
네,
back with
알겠습니다. 더
very
좋아진 호흡 기대하겠고요.
believing
BDD
and also
선수는
trustworthy
이번
performance.
스프링 때 특별히 본인만의 목표가 있는지
And BDD, what's your goal for the spring split?
최근에 저 혼자서 되게 약간
Recently,
개인 실수가 많다고 생각을 해서
I made a lot of
그 부분
personal
빨리 보완하고
mistakes in
싶고
games, so
팀원들한테도
I want to work on
보여주고
it,
그래가지고
and I want to be
그냥
helpful
기복없는
for my
행보가 되고
teammates.
이번 시즌
I want to be a
네, 아무래도
consistent
두
player
분을 이 자리에
throughout the
함께
splits.
모셔서 더 영광인데 이번 시즌 MVP 욕심 있으신지?
Does anyone want to be the
그
player of the
그런 거는 뭐
splits?
없으면 거짓말이긴 한데
Well,
일단
it's gonna be a
무엇보다
lie
일단
that
팀
I'm
승리
not
자체가 우선이기
interested
때문에
in it.
그쪽으로
However,
좀더 마음이
team's
가지
victory is what is more valuable, so I'm not paying too much attention
오늘
to it.
클리드 선수, BDD 선수 너무너무 감사하고요. 젠지의 승리도
This will be
축하드리면서 저희는
Cliff, BDD
다음에
with
만나뵙도록 하겠습니다.
The first victory for Gen.G, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, G-Sun. Great to hear from both Clid and BDD, the main characters of this series indeed. Clid turning around what was a pretty uncomfortable first performance in game number 1, and then games 2 and 3 were as if nothing happened. So nice to see a player that can turn around a bad outing, especially on the main stage
And
like this.
now we take a look at the standings. So T1 and Gen.G are going to lead the games so far with the +1.
Yeah, still yet to see Afrika Freaks, Dragon X, and Sandbox. Another, 3 in our assumed top 6 of real power players here in the LCK. Our next matchup will indeed be a couple of those. Sandbox facing off against APK Prince tomorrow, and then Griffin up against Afrika. Afrika versus Griffin is a very interesting one. I'm interested to see what Griffin looks like now.
Yeah.
The new iteration. I know it doesn't feel super new, but Griffin without Chovy, what does that necessarily mean? Doran also leaving the roster as well. Of course, Antara making his way onto Griffin, and will be alongside Sword up there towards the top side. Both Sword and Antara, not necessarily top laners that you want up against Keen.
No.
Keen needs the best possible top laner in the world in order to try and keep him down, and I have a feeling he'll have a field day tomorrow in our second matchup.
Yeah, so tune in for that. Now, teams tomorrow do have the chance to 2-0 and get first place currently.
Yeah.
As both winners today only managed to 2-1. So you have to tune in for that. It's going to be an action-packed week.
Yeah, certainly will be. Still way more LCK, 5 days this week. Of course, the entire first round robin will be 5 days a week, so we'll see you tomorrow for more LCK. And now we're going to go to bed. Good night.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, all that I need. If I was ever in